Instead of wasting your summer partying the entire time, let me show you 5 different ways you can actually get rich this summer. All of these require no experience to start, and for a majority of these, your age doesn't matter. And the last one on this list has the potential to make you the most amount of money, and is going to be completely remote, so you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Alright, let's get into it, and as always, timestamps will be in the description down below. Number 1 on this list is reselling. Now, reselling is simply buying products for super cheap and reselling them at a marked up price. Reselling is actually one of the easiest side hustles to start making some money online. It's super simple to do, your age doesn't matter, and of course you can do it with no experience. All you simply need to do is just find your supplier or vendor, which is where you're gonna get your product for cheap. And then once you get the product, you simply advertise it at a higher price. I know this worked because I've done this. I literally did this in high school and I was reselling products online. What I was selling was AirPod cases, rose dogs, and even these little flower lamps. So how I used to get my products is I'll go over to a website called Alibaba and AliExpress. On these websites, you can find overseas suppliers and vendors to get the products for super cheap. Now, typically to get them at the cheapest price, you do have to order them in bulk, meaning you're ordering like at least 10 pieces at the time so you can get the biggest discounts. Now, I will say the best type of products to sell right now that I see absolutely trending is anything like jewelry or any designer-based products or Apple products. So that's selling things like AirPods, AirPod cases, or selling designer bags, hoodies. Another thing I'm seeing going really crazy is these things called the spider hoodies. I don't know if you've seen those online, but all of those that I just mentioned are some of the most profitable things that I see people make the most amount of money in the reselling game right now. Another thing you could resell is also shoes if you're really a sneaker person. Now, a side hustle like this is super simple to do. I literally seen this 16-year-old kid making $3,000 to $5,000 a month simply just reselling products. Now, for any products you're looking for a vendor for, you can simply just search up the name of the product on Google and search a vendor afterwards. So like I said, the spider hoodies I mentioned, you can literally just search up spider hoodies and search a vendor afterwards. So spider hoodie vendors. If you wanted to resell colognes, then just simply search up cologne vendors. Another product I've been seeing really go crazy is those Cartier watches. Like, people literally have bust down Cartier watches and reselling those for a profit as well. Those ones are becoming so popular. I'm really seeing those in my local malls. But yes, anything that you want to, you can simply just search up the name of the product and search a vendor afterwards and simply start getting a vendor list so you can actually start finding the best places to actually get these products to then resell. So if you got a product for $5, you can resell it for $25. For me, when I was selling my rose dogs, I'll get them for $5 and I'll resell them for $15, $20, $35. Like I said, I'll get them on Alibaba or AliExpress, then I'll market on a website called Poshmark or even Mercari. And platforms like that already have millions of users, so all I have to do is simply just list my product that's already getting sales. Like, literally, I literally just list my products and I just sell them. You can also use your own social media platforms to actually start selling these products as well. Simply start taking pictures and posting them online and having people actually buy these products. I'll literally just record on Snapchat, post it on there like, hey, this is $25, $15, and people simply just buy it. Like I said, this was making me an extra couple $100 a day. Me personally, one of my best selling products that I was selling back then was actually designer bags. I used to buy them for super cheap from my vendor and resell them for a much higher price. Now, if you are going to sell designer products like that or name brand products like that, you do have to clarify that this is not the actual product. A lot of people know that, they just don't care. They simply just want to get the look of how it looks to go flex or whatever case may be. But you cannot market as if it was the real thing, so you have to let it be known that it is the replica. Well, let's not say replica, but something that looks like the thing that they want to get. Alright, moving on to number 2. Number 2 is couch flipping. Now, this one, as it sounds, will require a little bit more work because you're literally flipping couches. Not literally making backflips or couches, but literally buying couches and reselling them for a profit. To understand how this works is you need to know that everybody needs couches. It don't matter who house you're going to, you're gonna find a couch in your friend's house, your neighbor's house, or even your family house. Typically what happens is when people are moving out of state, moving to a new apartment, or even moving to a bigger place, or even just switching up furniture, they change the couches. They literally either give away their couches and they're buying new ones. So a lot of the time what happens is if somebody's downsizing to a smaller place, that couch can't fit in that place anymore. So instead of trying to resell the couch, they simply just put it out on the streets or put it up for free on a website like Facebook Marketplace or even OfferUp, so somebody else can come pick it up so they can actually go ahead and get this new couch. A lot of the time these couches are in perfectly good condition if they just simply just want to get rid of this couch. But what you probably don't know is there's a huge market for people who want to buy other people's couches, because like I said, a lot of the time the couches are in good condition. Somebody simply just think, hey, this can't fit in my new place, or this does not match my new furniture. So that's where you come in. You want to simply go onto these platforms like OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, and find these hidden gems, these couches that's literally listed up there for free to come pick up. So you go completely pick up these couches for 100% free and you resell it back on the same platform, take way better high quality pictures, and actually take the time to market it as best as possible to actually then resell it for $200, $300, or even $600. And if you're thinking right now, hey, how in the world am I gonna get a couch? Where am I gonna store it? Don't worry, I got you. Now, I did some pretty simple calculation. This is exactly what I came up with. If you go to a store like Home Depot or even Menards, they actually let you rent out their vehicles for about $20 a day or even $50 a day sometimes. So that means you're picking up a pickup truck for $20 to $50. Then you can actually go ahead and start picking up these cars, or even rent a U-Haul to actually pick up these couches to actually then deliver these items. So here's exactly what you're gonna do. You're simply gonna go on OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace and find a bunch of people who are trying to give out the couches. Then you wanna schedule an offer 1-day pickup. So the day you have scheduled for pickup, you simply just go rent one of these pickup trucks and you go pick up all these couches, and then you can either store them in your garage if you have some space, or rent a storage unit. Now with the storage unit and the pickup truck, that should run you about $100. As long as you schedule your pickup day to be all in one day, you can simply just rent out the car, go over and pick it up, and actually take it back to your storage unit. So let's say one day you can pick up anywhere from 4 to 6 couches, with each on average being valued about $200. If you sold 4 couches at $200, that means you made $800. Now of course that's not profit. We have to subtract the $100 you paid for the storage unit and actual car, and let's deduct another $50 fee because you have to get the car again when you're actually about to deliver it. So that will leave you with a profit of $650. So let's say you did exactly that once every single week. You sold 4 couches at $200. That's an extra $3,200 a month. Now I'm lowering these numbers just in case, but you can't really scale these up if you're selling a lot more couches. You're actually working way more days. You actually put in all your energies actually doing this. Like I said, I've literally seen people do upwards of $10,000 a month simply flipping couches. And for anybody who is skeptical still, like, hey, I'm not gonna find any free couches or whatever the case may be, look, I'm just gonna hop over right to my laptop and show y'all exactly what it looked like on OfferUp. So all I did was just simply search up couches. You can literally see, we see some going for $50, $100, $1,200, $0, $100, $200, $0, $500. You can see the list goes on. So you can see just by me simply look, even $1. Like, yo, what is this, right? Like, you look like $30. We got $0, like you literally see this, like $0, $10, $20. Like literally, some people just want something, and you see them being listed for the $200, like I said, right? For the $800 even, right? Or even $1,200. I didn't even go as far even saying $1,200. So these numbers can't even get really crazy. Imagine you sell one couch for even $800. It could be like that. You get a really good couch, clean it up, and take some really nice, good quality pictures. You can literally see this one: $400, $250, $600. The list goes on and on and on. Let's move on to the next one. I hope y'all enjoy this one. The third one on this list is wholesaling real estate. So how wholesaling real estate works is essentially you're selling a contract of a property over to an investor. How you're gonna get the contract to the property is because it's your job as the wholesaler to find distressed properties. I mean, beat down and run down properties. So one way wholesalers find good deals to actually then flip the contract over is by doing something first called driving for dollars, which means you simply hop in your car, driving around your neighborhood and looking for distressed properties. If you know any bad neighborhoods, not like bad as in people getting, you know what I'm saying, but bad as in, you know, it's run down, there's a lot of broken down houses, whatever it is, maybe you start driving down those neighborhoods and actually start taking the address of these properties. Then you simply want to skip trace the numbers so you can find the property owners and then call them to ask them if they want to sell their property. Now you want to act as if you're the one who wants to buy the property, but in reality you simply just want to get on a contract to be able to flip it over to an investor who's actually going to buy the property. If you don't want to do the driving for dollars, you could hop on Zillow and start looking for rundown properties. So if you know a local realtor, you can hit them up and ask them if they know any rundown properties, so you can actually try to get them on the contract to actually go about flipping over to an investor. Now I also tried this as well in high school, but I never actually closed any deals with this at all. The reason why is because I actually found out that I needed a license in my state, and I live in Illinois. So if you live in Illinois, you actually do need a license to flip, I think, more than one deal a year. So I had stopped temporarily, and then later on in the future I actually went ahead and got my license to do this, but then I actually turned into a real estate agent. And then the real estate brokerage I was with actually said, hey, we don't like wholesalers, so we're not going to teach you how to do wholesaling. So I just stuck to actually being an agent. So with this, you're probably wondering, why would somebody want to give me a contract that I can flip over to another investor? And why would they not just want to flip it over to an investor? And the answer is super simple. A lot of the time people have these properties because it was passed down to them for a parent, or they have so much damage with the property they just want to get their hands off it. They're like, yo, I don't even want to deal with this property. I live outside the country. I live I live in a whole other state. I just want to get rid of it, and I want somebody to buy it off me. What you have to understand is a lot of people don't want to deal with having to fix up the property and all that. They just like, yo, you the person who want to get the property, take it over. I don't care what's going on. And a lot of people don't have the money to actually then invest into a property to actually fix that whole property up, to actually list it up for a much higher price. So with that being said, you do want to find properties that are in really bad condition so you can actually then flip it over to an investor, because they see that as a gold mine. So with wholesaling real estate, there's 2 types of contracts that you need. First is the purchase agreement. The second is the purchase contract. Now that assignment contract is key because that allows you to then legally be able to assign that contract over to another investor who who can actually take over the property to actually go ahead and close on that property for you. So to give you some basic math on this, let's say you found a property that was worth about $300,000, that was run down, needed about, let's say, $50,000 of repairs. You get that property under contract for $100,000, and then you sign that contract over to a real estate investor for $150,000. On the closing date, they would then pay that $150,000, and then you get to keep $50,000, and the seller gets to keep that $100,000. And then of course the real estate agent will get to put an extra $50,000 in repair and be able to resell the property for $300,000. So you're simply just the middleman. Now, I am not an expert in wholesaling real estate by any means, but I do have some friends who actually do this and actually make a lot of money from it. If you do want to learn about wholesaling real estate, I think it's super lucrative, and the best person I would recommend you watch is a guy named Kong. You can find him on YouTube by searching up Wholesale to Million. Back when I was on my wholesaling journey, that was the guy I was watching, and he actually gave a lot of helpful advice. All right, moving on to number 4 is TikTok Shop. Now, I talk about this all the time is because it's super lucrative, man. All you need is this device right here to start. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. You simply just download TikTok. A lot of people hate on TikTok, but hey, when it's getting you paid, you're gonna stop hating. Now with this, I've actually never done this, but I have taught people how to do this, and they've actually been able to make a lot of money doing this. And how I was able to teach people without actually having to do it myself is because I do run a community where I show people how to grow on social media. And one of my students grew super fast on TikTok, and he just happened to get the program, and he like, hey, let me test this out. And since he was already going super viral, he just made a video, and even though he wasn't focused on TikTok Shop, he made a video, and he made an extra $500 that same week off one single 30-second video. So even though that's not something I was primarily teaching my community, I knew it was super simple. You simply just get views on a product. Simple like that. Now, in order to be eligible for the TikTok Shop program, you need to have about 2,500 to 5,000 followers on TikTok. At first, it was like 5,000, but I'm literally seeing people get approved with 1,000 even, or even 2,500 followers. Is typically what I see on average people get approved on. It's like by invite only when they get around that follower. I don't know if it's 100% like they push advertisement like, hey, you need 5,000 or you need 2,500 followers. I think it's on the back end. Once you on the platform, you get to 2,500 followers. I've seen a lot of people get it all the time. Once you get this program, it's super simple. They give you the TikTok Shop portal. You can request free products, or you can buy the products. You make videos on the product, and you simply get paid anytime somebody actually purchased the product. So it's basically like affiliate marketing, because you get a commission for every single sale that you get. Now, I'm pretty big on TikTok with 1.3 million followers, and I literally make money off this myself, but I don't actually promote these products because I have them in my bio, in my TikTok Shop showcase, I think it's called. Yeah, TikTok Shop showcase. So it's just in the profile, some products that I use, and people simply just buy them without me actually have to promote them. So I made a little bit of money off that, so I know how it works, but I haven't actually promoted videos. I'm trying to make money off of it. Now I'm gonna show you a super crazy hack that after I show you this, you have to give me a subscribe. I want more people to see this video so I can help as many people as possible out. But the hack to get 2,500 followers or even 5K followers in 48 hours is something called a follow train on TikTok. If you search a follow train on TikTok, there's communities on there, literally in the algorithm. You can find them, start following them, and they will follow you. All you simply do is search a follow train, you comment on these videos, you like them, and every single person who's watching that video, their comments are their job is to follow you, and then you follow them, and everybody just compounds. Follow. It's like follow for follow. And then everybody's doing it, so everybody can get to 2,500 followers, 5K followers, and it still makes you eligible because these are real people. There's not no fake followers or anything. It's real people that's helping each other out. And then once you reach that 2,500 followers, you can actually go ahead, activate the program, and start getting paid from TikTok. Now, I don't need to focus too much on this because it's super simple like that. You literally get the product, make videos about the product, and in order to make the best videos, I would highly recommend you do competitor research, which simply means you look up the name of the product and see what other people are making, what type of content they're making, and recreate that content. Even better, find different content in different niches, or like different products about different things, and then recreate that same exact thing with your product. That's the easiest thing. Like, you don't need any training, no course or anything. Literally just do that, and you're gonna make money off of it. It's so broken right now. You need to hop on this. All right, now we can move on to the last one, which is the best one that can make you the most amount of money on this list, is drop shipping. Now, I know you've heard about drop shipping for years and years and years. Some people say it's saturated. Some people say it's outdated. Nobody's making money off this. People are still making a ton of money off of drop shipping. If you don't know what drop shipping is, let me explain. With drop shipping, you have to create an online store, and then you list up your products on that online store, and then you connect your store with the vendor or your supplier who's gonna actually place all their products over to your online store, which you can then start marketing that product. Now, this is similar to reselling, but unlike reselling, you don't have to actually buy these products. You simply list the products over to your online store, and every single time somebody goes to your online store and actually purchased on your store, your vendor directly ships it to that person and gives you your profit. So if that vendor is selling for $5 and you list it on your website for $25, Your vendor takes their split and you keep that $20. That was very simple. You simply list up the product, you promote it, get sales, your vendor ships it to them, you get your money. You don't have to spend any money to start this. You don't have to spend any money on the products. All you do is promote, and you can make free organic content, post it on social media to market the product. Now, typically, the most difficult thing that hinders people from actually starting dropshipping is this one thing, which is actually creating the online store. You're probably not tech savvy, especially if you're a little bit older, or if you're younger, you may not even still not even know how to create a dropship store. But luckily for you, I actually found an AI website that actually does this for you for free. It will literally create you your dropshipping store within 2 minutes. I'll leave a link at the top of the description if you actually want to use this AI software to create your own dropshipping store. But once you have your store created, you simply just start promoting it and marketing it and actually start collecting your money. If you want a full in-depth video about dropshipping or anything else on this list, let me know down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to learn 15 more ways to make money online, simply just tap this video right here, and I'll see you in the next one.